What's up, United family? Welcome back to United HQ Update, your #1 destination for all things Manchester United. I'm your host, and today we've got some absolutely explosive transfer news that could change everything at Old Trafford this summer. Today's breaking news agenda. We're talking about 3 massive stories that are sending shockwaves through the United community. Story 1. The goal machine United desperately need. Victor Osimhen, the 26-year-old Nigerian striker who just banged in 36 goals this season, and why he could be the answer to United's scoring nightmares. This guy single-handedly kept Galatasaray ahead of Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce in the title race. Story 2. The £100 million dilemma. Bruno Fernandes and that mind-blowing Al Hilal offer that's got everyone talking. We're talking about £21 million per year for 4 years. That's generational wealth. But should our captain really abandon ship when United need him most? Story 3. The transfer domino effect. Here's where it gets crazy. What if Bruno's potential £100 million exit could unlock United's dream striker signing? Victor Gyökeres has scored 97 goals in 102 games under Ruben Amorim at Sporting. Could this be the masterstroke that finally fixes United's attack? Why you need to watch this entire video. Listen, United fans, we're at a crossroads. To it, white heavy checkmark keep Bruno and hope for the best with our current strikers? White heavy checkmark cash in on our captain to fund a world-class goal machine? A white heavy checkmark trust Amorim's vision with players who already know his system? And here's the kicker. Fabrizio Romano has been dropping hints about major movements in the transfer market, and United are right in the thick of it. What we're covering today. By the end of this video, you'll know why Osimhen is desperate to play in the Premier League, and the real reason Bruno might actually leave Old Trafford, how United could pull off the transfer coup of the summer, which option gives us the best chance of getting back to the Champions League. So smash that like button if you're ready for some serious transfer talk. Hit subscribe and ring that notification bell because, trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next in this transfer window. Let's dive in. Victor Osimhen, the striker Manchester United desperately need this summer. Picture this: Manchester United fans watching their team struggle to score goals for yet another season. Sound familiar? Well, what if we told you there's a striker out there who just scored 36 goals in a single season and has his heart set on playing in the Premier League? Meet Victor Osimhen, the goal machine that could finally solve United's biggest problem. Who is Victor Osimhen and why should United fans care? If you haven't been following European football closely, you might be wondering who this Victor Osimhen guy is and why he's suddenly being linked with Manchester United. Let's break it down in simple terms. Victor Osimhen is a 26-year-old Nigerian striker who has been tearing up European football for the past few years. He's currently playing for Galatasaray in Turkey, but here's the twist: he's actually on loan from Italian giants Napoli. And boy, has he been scoring goals for fun. This season alone, Osimhen has found the back of the net 36 times. That's not a typo, 36 goals in one season. To put that in perspective, that's more goals than any Manchester United player has scored in recent memory. In fact, it's probably more than United's top 2 scorers combined in most recent seasons. But here's what makes Osimhen special: he doesn't just score goals against weak teams. He scores important goals that win games. Out of his 25 league goals for Galatasaray this season, they earned the team 21 points. Without those goals, Galatasaray would have lost their league title to Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce. The goal-scoring problem that's been haunting United. Let's be honest about Manchester United's biggest issue. They can't score enough goals. It's been the same story for years now. They create chances, they control games, but when it comes to putting the ball in the net, they struggle. How bad has it been? United have actually had a negative goal difference in their last 2 Premier League seasons. That means they've conceded more goals than they've scored. For a club of United's size and ambition, that's simply not good enough. The club tried to fix this problem by signing young striker Rasmus Højlund. While Højlund has potential, he's still learning his trade in the Premier League. United can't afford to wait for potential to turn into results. They need someone who can score goals right now. This is where Osimhen comes in. He's not a project or a gamble. He's a proven goal scorer who has delivered everywhere he's played. Osimhen's track record speaks for itself. Let's look at the numbers because they tell an incredible story. Over the last 3 seasons, Osimhen has scored 84 goals for Napoli and Galatasaray combined. That's consistency at the highest level. His best season came in 2022-23 when he scored 26 goals in Serie A to help Napoli win their first league title since 1990. Think about that for a moment. He was the key player in ending a 33-year title drought for one of Italy's biggest clubs. Before moving to Italy, Osimhen played for French club Lille, where he scored 18 goals in his only season and helped them finish in the top 4. Even as a young player, he was making a real impact. Some people might say that his big numbers this season came in the Turkish league, which isn't as strong as the Premier League. That's fair enough, but remember, Osimhen has proven himself in Serie A too, which is definitely one of Europe's top leagues. Why Osimhen wants to play in the Premier League? Here's something that should excite United fans. Osimhen has already said he dreams of playing in the Premier League. Back in 2023, he spoke about his ambitions in a really honest way. He said that while he was happy playing in Serie A, lots of people consider the Premier League to be the best and strongest league in the world. He made it clear that playing in England was something he wanted to achieve in his career. "I'm working so hard to make sure that I achieve my dream of playing in the Premier League someday," Osimhen said. Those are the exact words of a player who wants to test himself at the highest level. For United, this is massive. Getting a world-class striker is hard enough, but getting one who actually wants to play in your league makes things much easier. The challenges United face in signing Osimhen. But let's be realistic about the challenges. United have some serious problems that might put off a player like Osimhen. The biggest issue is that United won't be playing in European competition next season. No Champions League, no Europa League, nothing. For a player who has been starring in the Champions League with Napoli and the Europa League with Galatasaray, that's a big step down. Most top players want to play in the biggest competitions. They want those big European nights under the lights. United can't offer that right now, and that's a real problem when trying to attract elite talent. There's also the question of money. Napoli will want a big transfer fee for Osimhen, and the player himself will want top wages. United have been trying to control their spending, so they'll need to be smart about how they structure any deal. Could United make it work financially? The article suggests an interesting solution to United's money problems. If the club sells Bruno Fernandes and Alejandro Garnacho this summer, they could raise enough money to fund a move for Osimhen. Now, selling Bruno Fernandes would be controversial among fans. He's been one of United's best players and their captain. But if United are serious about rebuilding their team, they might need to make some tough decisions. Garnacho is a talented young winger, but he's not yet at the level where United couldn't replace him. If selling these two players could bring in someone like Osimhen, it might be worth considering. The key question is, would United rather have a team built around Bruno Fernandes that struggles to score goals, or a team built around a proven goal scorer like Osimhen? What Osimhen could bring to United? Imagine United with a striker who guarantees 25 to 30 goals per season. That changes everything about how the team plays and how opponents approach games against them. Right now, teams can defend against United by crowding out the midfield and not worrying too much about the striker. With Osimhen leading the line, defenders would have to respect his pace, power, and finishing ability. Osimhen isn't just a goal scorer either. He's good at holding up the ball, bringing teammates into play, and creating space for others. He's the complete modern striker that United have been missing. At 26, he's entering the best years of his career. He's experienced enough to handle the pressure of playing for United, but young enough to give the club several great seasons. The competition for Osimhen's signature. United won't be the only club interested in Osimhen this summer. Chelsea have also been linked with him in the past, and they can offer Champions League football. Other big European clubs will probably be watching his situation too. Paris Saint-Germain might need a new striker, and they can offer huge wages and Champions League football. This is why United need to act quickly if they're serious about signing Osimhen. They can't afford to mess around like they have with other transfer targets in the past. Why this transfer makes perfect sense. Think about what United need most right now. They need goals, leadership, and someone who can handle the pressure of playing for one of the world's biggest clubs. Osimhen ticks all these boxes. He scores goals wherever he plays. He's won major trophies and knows what it takes to perform in big moments. And he's already said he wants to play in the Premier League. For Osimhen, United offers the chance to fulfill his Premier League dream and potentially earn more money than he would staying in Turkey or Italy. Yes, there's no European football for one season, but if he helps United get back into the Champions League, that problem solves itself. What United fans should expect. If United do sign Osimhen, fans should expect an immediate impact. This isn't like signing a young prospect who needs time to develop. Osimhen is ready to score goals in the Premier League right now. But fans also need to be realistic about the time it might take for the whole team to gel. United have had problems beyond just scoring goals, and one player can't fix everything overnight. What Osimhen can do is give United a focal point in attack and someone that defenders have to worry about. That alone could make the whole team play better. The bottom line for Manchester United. Manchester United are at a crossroads. They can continue trying to develop young players and hope they come good, or they can invest in proven quality like Victor Osimhen. The club has tried the first approach with mixed results. Maybe it's time to try the second approach and see what happens when you have a guaranteed goal scorer leading your attack. Osimhen represents everything United have been missing: pace, power, clinical finishing, and the mentality of a winner. He's exactly the type of player that could transform United from a team that struggles to score into a team that opponents fear. The question isn't whether Osimhen would improve United, he obviously would. The question is whether United can convince him to join a club that won't be playing European football next season. Final thoughts. A risk worth taking. Every transfer is a risk, but some risks are worth taking more than others. Signing Victor Osimhen would be a statement of intent from Manchester United. It would show that they're serious about getting back to the top level of football. Yes, it would cost a lot of money. Yes, there are no guarantees in football. But when you look at United's goal-scoring problems and Osimhen's incredible record, this feels like a transfer that makes perfect sense. United fans have watched their team struggle to score goals for too long. They've seen other clubs sign proven strikers while United gambled on potential. Maybe it's time for United to learn from those mistakes and go after a player who they know can deliver. Victor Osimhen could be the difference between another disappointing season and a genuine return to competing for major trophies. For a club like Manchester United, that's a risk worth taking every single time. The summer transfer window is approaching fast. United need to decide what kind of club they want to be, one that hopes for the best or one that goes out and gets the players they need to succeed. With Victor Osimhen available and interested in the Premier League, the choice should be obvious. Should Bruno Fernandes leave Manchester United? The Al Hilal offer that could change everything. Picture this. You have given 5 years of your career to a company. You have worked harder than anyone else. You have shown up every day with passion and commitment. But the company keeps failing to deliver on its promises. The results are getting worse, not better. Then one day, another company offers you triple your salary and a chance to work somewhere that actually wins things. What would you do? This is exactly the situation Bruno Fernandes finds himself in right now. The Manchester United captain is facing the biggest decision of his career. Al Hilal from Saudi Arabia want him badly. They are offering money that would make your head spin. But is it the right move for Bruno? And what would it mean for Manchester United? Let's dive deep into this story and look at all the angles. The offer that nobody can ignore. When we talk about big money in football, we usually think in millions. But what Al Hilal are offering Bruno Fernandes goes beyond anything we normally see. We are talking about £100 million as a transfer fee to Manchester United. That alone would make this one of the biggest transfers ever for a player his age. But that's just the start. Bruno himself would earn around £21 million every single year for 4 years. Think about that for a moment. In just 1 year, he would earn more than most people make in their entire lifetime. Over the 4 years, he would pocket close to £85 million in wages alone. This isn't just any offer. This is life-changing money. The kind of money that sets up not just Bruno, but his children and grandchildren for life. At 30 years old, turning 31 in September, this would be his last chance to earn this kind of money in his career. But money isn't everything, right? Or is it when we're talking about these amounts? Why Bruno might actually leave? Here's the thing that many Manchester United fans don't want to admit. Bruno Fernandes has every right to be frustrated. Since he joined United in January 2020, what has he actually won? The honest answer is not much. A Carabao Cup and an FA Cup. That's it. For a player of his quality, that's simply not enough. He came to United expecting to challenge for the Premier League and Champions League. Instead, he has watched the club get worse and worse. This past season was particularly painful. United finished 15th in the Premier League. Let that sink in for a moment. A club that considers itself one of the biggest in the world finished 15th. They lost the Europa League final. They won't even play in Europe next season. For Bruno, who is used to competing at the highest level, this must feel like career suicide. He is 30 years old. He doesn't have many years left at the top level. Does he really want to waste them watching United struggle in mid-table? His agent Miguel Pino said it best after the Europa League final. Sometimes life is just unfair, you deserved more. Those words tell you everything you need to know about how Bruno's camp feels right now. The loyalty question. Some people will say Bruno should stay because of loyalty. They will point to his comments about staying until the club tells him to go. But is that really fair to expect from him? Bruno has given United 5 years of his prime. He has been the best player in a team that has consistently underperformed. He has carried the team on his back through some of their darkest moments. He has been professional, committed, and passionate even when things were falling apart around him. Loyalty should work both ways. What has United given Bruno in return? A few cup wins and years of frustration. The club has failed to build a team around him. They have made poor signings. They have changed managers multiple times. They have created chaos instead of success. Modern football is a business. Players have short careers. Bruno has maybe 4 or 5 good years left. Should he really sacrifice those years hoping that United might eventually get things right? That doesn't seem fair or realistic. What United would lose? If Bruno leaves, United would lose much more than just their best player. They would lose their captain, their leader, and the one player who never gives up even when things look hopeless. Bruno is not just about goals and assists, though he provides plenty of both. He is about standards. He is the player who demands more from his teammates. He is the one who shows young players what it means to be professional. He is the heartbeat of the team. In the dressing room, Bruno is the voice that speaks up when things aren't good enough. He is the player who takes responsibility when the team fails. He is the example that others try to follow, even if they often fall short. Losing him would create a huge hole that goes far beyond football ability. Who would be the new captain? Who would be the player that fans look to when things get tough? Who would demand better from teammates who are happy to just collect their wages? The impact on team morale could be devastating. If the captain and best player gives up on the project, what message does that send to everyone else? The money problem for United. Here's where things get complicated for United. That £100 million offer from Al Hilal is a lot of money. For a club that has financial problems, it could solve a lot of issues. United could use that money to buy 2 or 3 good players. They could strengthen multiple positions instead of having all their best play in one person. From a business point of view, selling a 30-year-old player for £100 million makes sense. The new manager Ruben Amorim would have a huge war chest to work with. He could build his own team instead of inheriting someone else's. He could sign players who fit his system perfectly. But here's the big question. Can United be trusted to spend that money wisely? United's transfer record problem. This is the part that should worry every United fan. The club's record in the transfer market over the past decade has been terrible. They have wasted hundreds of millions of pounds on players who didn't work out. Think about some of their big signings in recent years. Antony for £85 million. Maguire for £80 million. Sancho for £73 million. Casemiro for £60 million. None of these signings have worked out as planned. United have a habit of paying too much for the wrong players. They get excited about big names but don't think about whether those players actually fit their system or improve the team. If they sell Bruno for £100 million, what are the chances they spend that money better than Bruno performs? Based on their track record, not very high. This is why keeping Bruno might be more important than the money. He is a guaranteed performer. He is someone they know will give everything for the club. In a world of uncertainty, he is the one certainty they have. The Saudi Arabia factor. Let's be honest about Saudi Arabia for a moment. The Saudi Pro League has attracted some big names in recent years. Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, N'Golo Kante, and others have made the move for similar reasons to what Bruno is considering. The league is getting better. The facilities are world-class. The money is incredible. For players in the later stages of their careers, it can be a perfect fit. Bruno would be joining Al Hilal, one of the biggest clubs in Asia. They have won the Asian Champions League multiple times. They have ambitions to be the best team in the world outside of Europe. They can offer him a chance to win trophies while earning incredible money. The lifestyle in Saudi Arabia might also appeal to Bruno and his family. The weather is good. The facilities are amazing. The pressure from media and fans is much less than what he faces at United. But there are downsides too. The level of competition is not the same as the Premier League. Bruno would miss out on playing against the best players in the world every week. His chances of making the Portugal national team might decrease if he's not playing in a top European league. What this means for United's future. If Bruno leaves, it would send a clear message about where United are as a club right now. It would show that even their best players don't believe in the project anymore. This could start a domino effect. Other top players might start looking for exits too. Why would anyone want to join United if their own captain is leaving for Saudi Arabia? On the other hand, it might force the club to finally make the changes they need to make. Sometimes losing your best player can be the wake-up call an organization needs. United have been making the same mistakes for years. They have been hoping that individual brilliance will cover up their systematic problems. Maybe losing Bruno would force them to build a proper team instead of relying on one person to solve all their problems. The fan perspective. United fans are split on this issue. Some understand why Bruno might want to leave. They see a loyal player who has given everything and received little in return. They wouldn't blame him for taking the money and finding happiness elsewhere. Other fans feel betrayed by the possibility. They see Bruno as someone who should fight for the club no matter what. They believe he should stay and help rebuild instead of jumping ship when things get tough. Both perspectives are understandable. Football is emotional. When you support a team, you want your best players to share that emotional connection. But players are also human beings with careers and families to think about. What should Bruno do? This is the million-dollar question, or in this case, the £100 million question. What would you do if you were in Bruno's shoes? From a financial perspective, the decision is obvious. Take the money. Secure your future. Live a comfortable life without the stress and pressure of trying to fix a broken team. From a career perspective, it's more complicated. Bruno is still good enough to play for any team in Europe. He could probably join a club that competes for the Champions League every year. Saudi Arabia would end those dreams. From a personal perspective, only Bruno knows what makes him happy. Some players are motivated by money. Others are motivated by trophies. Some just want to play football and enjoy their careers. Bruno has to decide what matters most to him at this stage of his life. There's no right or wrong answer. Whatever he chooses, he has earned the right to make that choice. What should United do? United's decision is just as complicated. Do they cash in on their best player while they can get top dollar? Or do they keep him and hope they can build a team worthy of his talents? The smart business move might be to sell. Get the money and rebuild properly. But football isn't always about smart business moves. Sometimes you need to keep your best players and build around them. United have made too many bad decisions in recent years. They can't afford to make another one. Whatever they decide about Bruno, it needs to be part of a bigger plan, not just a panic reaction. If they keep him, they need to show him they are serious about winning. They need to make good signings. They need to create a team that can compete. They can't just expect Bruno to carry them forever. If they sell him, they need to spend the money wisely. They need to sign players who fit their system and improve the team. They can't waste another £100 million on the wrong players. The bigger picture. This Bruno Fernandes situation is about more than just one player and one transfer. It's about what kind of club Manchester United want to be. Are they a club that holds onto their best players and builds around them? Or are they a selling club that cashes in when the price is right? Are they a club that can convince top players to stay even when things are tough? Or are they a club that players want to leave as soon as they get a better offer? The decision they make about Bruno will tell us a lot about their ambitions and their plans for the future. Final thoughts. Bruno Fernandes deserves better than what he has gotten at Manchester United. That much is clear. Whether he gets that better by staying and helping United improve, or by leaving for Saudi Arabia and guaranteed success, is the question he has to answer. Whatever he decides, United fans should respect his choice. He has given everything to the club. He has been professional and committed even when the club has let him down. He has earned the right to decide his own future. For United, this could be a defining moment. Do they find a way to keep their best player happy? Do they use this as motivation to finally fix their problems? Or do they accept that they are no longer the destination club they once were? The next few weeks will tell us a lot about both Bruno Fernandes and Manchester United. Whatever happens, it will be fascinating to watch. The only thing we know for sure is that nothing will ever be the same again. What do you think Bruno should do? Should he take the money and run, or stay and fight for United's future? Let us know what you think, because this is a decision that will shape the future of one of football's biggest clubs. Could Bruno Fernandes' sale unlock United's dream striker signing? Picture this. You're watching Manchester United play another match where they create chance after chance but fail to score. Sound familiar? If you're a United fan, this scenario has probably played out more times than you'd like to remember over the past 2 seasons. The numbers don't lie. United finished both of the last 2 Premier League campaigns with a negative goal difference. For a club with such rich history and high expectations, that's simply not good enough. But what if there was a way to fix this problem? What if the solution involved a difficult choice that could change everything? Why United need a striker more than ever? Let's be honest about United's striker situation. It's not working. The club took a gamble on Rasmus Højlund in 2023, hoping the young Danish forward could solve their scoring problems. Then they doubled down by signing Joshua Zirkzee last summer. But here's the thing about gambles. Sometimes they don't pay off. Both players have shown flashes of quality, but neither has consistently delivered the goals United desperately need. In fact, both could find themselves heading for the exit door this summer if things don't improve. The recent news about Liam Delap choosing Chelsea over United is just another reminder of how difficult it is to find the right striker. Delap was available for just £30 million thanks to a release clause triggered by Ipswich Town's relegation. He seemed like a reasonable option, but even he represented another risk. Because after just 1 full season in the Premier League, United would have been buying potential rather than proven quality. And at this stage, with fans growing increasingly frustrated, United can't afford another expensive experiment. The money problem. Here's where things get tricky. The kind of striker United need, someone who's proven at the highest level and can guarantee goals, doesn't come cheap. We're talking about fees that could easily reach £60 to £80 million or more. United's financial situation isn't terrible, but it's not great either. The club missed out on a significant financial boost when they lost the Europa League final. That defeat didn't just hurt on the pitch, it cost them millions in prize money and potential Champions League qualification. So where does that leave United? They need an expensive striker but don't have unlimited funds. It's a puzzle that many clubs face, but for United, the stakes feel higher because of their recent struggles. Enter Bruno Fernandes and the Saudi connection. This is where the story takes an interesting turn. Recent reports suggest that Bruno Fernandes is considering a move away from Old Trafford. The destination? Saudi Arabian club Al Hilal, who are reportedly prepared to offer around £100 million for the Portuguese midfielder. Now, before United fans start panicking, let's think about this logically. Fernandes is undoubtedly United's best player. He's been their most consistent performer, their captain, and often their main source of creativity. Losing him would be a massive blow. But, and this is a big but, that £100 million could be exactly what United need to solve their striker problem. It's the kind of money that could allow them to go after a truly world-class forward, someone who could transform their attack overnight.